In a disturbing display of institutional punishment and public hypocrisy, Prince Harry finds himself fighting for the most basic right: safety for himself and his family when visiting his homeland. While the British media and royal commentators frame this as a petulant demand of a Hollywood Harry, the reality reflects a far more sinister willingness to endanger a man who served his country in Afghanistan and remains a high profile target regardless of his working royal status. This is Majesty Sussex Report. I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. The former chief of counter-terrorism in the UK made an unambiguous statement that should end this debate entirely. Prince Harry and Meghan face the highest number of credible death threats of any royal family member. This assessment comes from Britain's own security experts, not from Prince Harry's imagination or paranoia. As if further evidence were needed, two members of the far right extremist groups are currently imprisoned for planning to harm Prince Archie, Prince Harry, and Meghan. The threat is not theoretical, it is present, it is documented, and acknowledged by security professionals. The Taliban themselves have issued threats against Prince Harry following his military service in Afghanistan. During his two tours of duty, let me repeat that. During his two tours of duty to his country, to his people, Harry was directly involved in operations that made him a legitimate target for extremist retaliation, a risk that doesn't disappear simply because he stepped back from royal duties. And for all you ignorant people that say ignorant things like, oh, well, he said how many he killed, he was just being a show off, oh, come on, please tell me you know better than that. And if you don't, then shut up. Shut right up. If you have not served your country, gone to war for it, then shut up. The decision to strip Prince Harry of security appears increasingly driven by punishment rather than legitimate security assessment. The late Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, an architect of the so called stepping down the Sandringham Agreement, not accepting the half in and half out, he served on the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, RAVEC. Did you all know that? When it decided to remove Prince Harry's security, he was one of the members making that decision. An egregious conflict of interest that suggests institutional bias against the Duke. Harry's security was pulled even before the agreed upon 1 year transition period had expired, demonstrating that this wasn't about following established protocols, but rather expediting his and his family's vulnerability. This happened while he and his family were in Canada, leaving them exposed with no proper risk assessment conducted. The hypocrisy becomes even more apparent when examining Prince Andrew's case. Despite being removed from public duties due to his association with convicted sex offender J.E. and allegations of SA against a minor, Andrew maintained his security for an extended period. Then questions were raised. His brother, the king, simply arranged to pay for it personally, allegedly. Though, as some may say, the king's money ultimately comes from the taxpayers. So, if you were to put one and one together, figure it out. Critics repeatedly claim that taxpayers shouldn't fund Harry's security since he's no longer a working royal. When did that even become part of the vernacular? Working royal. Let me see. It became part just when Harry and Meghan stepped down. Or should I say, forced out. This deliberately ignores Prince Harry's repeated offers to pay for his own protection. Let me repeat that. Prince Harry repeatedly offers to pay for his own protection. But then here's what they say: our police is not for sale. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? You see, Harry isn't asking for free security. He's asking for access to intelligence that would allow his security team to properly protect him and his family. Without access to police intelligence and the Home Office database, private security, no matter how skilled or numerous, cannot adequately assess evolving threats. This crucial point is consistently omitted by critics who frame Harry as demanding special treatment. Hmm. The parallels with Princess Diana's tragic death cannot be ignored. Diana similarly had reduced security protection, and while commentators fixate on the drunk driver and seatbelt, they conveniently forget that she was being pursued by paparazzi, whose relentless chase directly contributed to the fatal accident. Harry, who lost his mother under such circumstances, is understandably determined not to see history repeat itself. That this determination is categorized as obsessive or unreasonable, it reveals a shocking callousness towards a man who experienced profound trauma at a young age. I read a comment under one of these shows, Jeremy Vine or one of them, and this person, who I'm assuming was male, said, "Well, I lost my father a few years ago. You don't see me moping and crying over it. I lost my mother last year, and you don't see me carrying on about it." Now, I'm going to assume that this is a grown earth man. A grown earth man wrote that comment. Did you lose your father or your mother at the age of 12 or 13? No, you didn't. So it shows your inability to empathize or to even to understand if you're comparing as an adult what it feels like to lose one's parents, to one having to walk behind the coffin of one's mother at the age of 12. Do I need to say anything else? And that is the type of people that are the loudest in these comment sections about Prince Harry should not receive any security whatsoever. The idiocy is mind boggling to me. Mind boggling. The treatment of Prince Harry dramatically worsened after he married Meghan. It's impossible to ignore the racist elements that have permeated throughout the British media coverage, including British TV personalities. And I know, many people are fed up of bringing these two examples, but I have to do it. And I know some of you will be upset about it, but I'm sorry. I have to do it because one needs to drive the point home. Because these people keep telling a one sided story and ignoring the rest. As if Harry and Meghan just out of nowhere decided, oh, well, we don't want to deal with this anymore, so we're going to just step down. And the comments about, well, you say we were two different cultures, you see. She was just, she's American. She just didn't, she's just American, Hollywood, some kind of starlet. No, I will not let that statement or those statements just stand there without it being challenged as to what was happening on the other side. Because when a British TV personality compares a newborn Prince Archie to a chimpanzee, and all of you seem to be quite okay with that. Because yes, he was reprimanded. He supposedly lost his gig for what, a month, and then he was rehired. When a very close friend to the concert, oh, forgive me, to your now mistress queen, Camilla, and to your heir to the throne, the jealous and egotistic brother, when a very good friend of theirs publicly wrote about his fantasy of what he wants to see done to Meghan, most vile, disgusting thing. And he had the audacity to just write it. And none of you, in your arguments as you comment on your hatred, none of you seem to remember these things. You all have general amnesia. Amnesia. When they parade her father and then accuse her that she's been mean to the father who's basically sold her as if she was a slave. And her half sibling, the white ones, go on British media tours to paint a nasty narrative of a half sister they barely know. But none of that is important at all. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Why even mention it? These are not isolated incidents, but part of a continuous campaign of vilification that directly contributes to the security threats facing the Sussex family. Now, here is the messed up thing, right? You ready? The same publications that spread this hatred, the same shows on TV, the same commentators that spread this hatred, then argue that Harry doesn't deserve protection from its consequences. So they build up the hatred, they create the danger, and then they say, but there's no danger. The United States is more dangerous. There's guns. Britain, look, we're safe, we're good. We're good, right? We're absolutely fine. Yes, we're fine. American presidents and their families retain security protection long after leaving office because the threat to them and their family doesn't disappear when their role ends or they leave the White House. The same principle should apply to Prince Harry, who did not choose to be born into royalty and cannot simply erase it, delete it, ignore it. He was born into royalty. Thus, it comes with the associated risk, threats, and dangers. Doesn't go away. The legal battle Harry is waging isn't about privilege, as some may argue, or entitlement, as some may argue. It's about the government's duty to care for a British citizen who faces exceptional threats due to his birth and service to the country. I've read comments and heard people who have not served the country or done a quarter have an opinion about whether or not this man should receive security. No, no, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. He wrote that damn book. He said these awful things about the Queen and about a royal family. I don't know if all of you are just stupid or once again you're suffering from amnesia. There was a prince, Prince Charles, who wrote a scathing book about his mother and his father and how much he didn't pay attention to him, how much he hated them, and all of that. He even gave an interview. It's the same damn thing. But for some reason, I wonder what that may be. His crime is worse. Oh no, but the Queen said this. The Queen said she did say that he if he there's no half and half. There's no in and out. You're either in or you're out. Perhaps she said that. Perhaps she didn't. What we do know is that she did say, and it's evidence. She did say that Prince Harry should receive security. The decision to deny him adequate protection appears increasingly difficult to justify on anything other than vindictive grounds. Vindictive grounds. While Prince Harry continues his legal fight for security, he simultaneously demonstrates the character his critics claim he lacks. His recent unpublicized visit to a rehabilitation center for wounded soldiers in the Ukraine shows his ongoing commitment to service, regardless of title or public recognition. The question remains, why would institutions supposedly dedicated to protecting the royal family seems so determined to leave one of its most vulnerable members exposed? Now, the answer may lie in an uncomfortable truth that Harry's departure and subsequent revelations have triggered a punitive response that prioritizes institutional revenge over basic human safety because he wrote about his own experience. Now, others can write about him, say whatever they want 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 books or whatever, claiming that this is the way he thinks, this is what he thought, this is what he did. But the man himself writes his own experience from his own mouth. And that is a sin, an unforgivable sin. Now, the fascinating thing, as I said before, why ignore what his father wrote, what his father said? It is written. He said it about the Queen. He said it about Prince Philip. Oh dear. So he's forgiven. He did nothing wrong. What was he doing? Expressing himself? So what was Prince Harry doing? Let me tell you something. He needed to write that memoir because he needed to have a historical document of what happened and not documents of other people saying what happened. That Oprah interview, that book, is all done for their safety. Whether you believe that or not, whether you care or not, they had to tell their story so that the narrative of the truth exists, because we know how quickly you people have amnesia and you forget things. Because let me see now. Oh, well, Princess Diana, well, she should have worn a seatbelt. Oh, well, she shouldn't have gotten into the car with a drunken man. You pathetic bunch of morons with any lack of empathy. Amazing. Amazing to me that Harry's departure and subsequent revelations have triggered such punitive response that prioritizes institutional revenge over basic human safety. When those in power are willing to endanger someone as a punishment for speaking the truth, it reveals far more about the institution, about them, than it does about the individual they seek to silence.